It says you're alive. It's got you're alive across my face. So I didn't know what to do then. It's National Poetry Month again. April 2024. Another year older, another year weirder, another year wiser, we hope. More poetical. Well, anyway, we're on our way because this is the first of hopefully 30 days in April. Breakfast Poetry Lives. However, life is different than it was in the past. And the other 2 years before this that I've done Breakfast Poetry Live, I had some more like flexible time, but I'm going to be getting up in the mornings and going to work. But I wake up pretty early anyway, so I'll probably, if I plan, I should be able to squeeze these in, I think. And I went right for the Tony mug. Tony in the bathtub. I'm trying to get him some good lighting here. Tony Lamb, where there he is in the bath. Old photograph, Tony in the bath. So, and you know what they say: if you know, you know, and if you don't know, and if you care, I'll let you know. I'll let you in on it. I don't know if it even matters, but I'm not as planned out as I should be, but I will reassure you that I have my very favorite symbol of Breakfast Poetry Live, which is the goblet of Fruity Pebbles. Look at those colors. Look at that goblet. It was my grandpa's back in the old days. I don't have any milk on it yet. I'm not going to eat in front of you because I don't like the sound of eating, especially mine. So, shall we just stop beating around the bush and say, oh, wow, Easter weekend fell at the same time as I was getting my taxes done. And also it seems like there was more. There should have been more than that to make me so disorganized. If you recall from past years, I usually do a block print of something, pull a weird phrase out of phrases I've collected over time, whether intentionally or unintentionally, writing down ideas in the night. And then I'll draw one out of the can and then write it onto the block print. We've had poetry hats. We've had poetry sweaters, sweater poems. That was what it was called. You can find those on Amazon as ebooks under the author Amy Zollers. That's me. But I have not done my block print yet. This is the fourth day of a 4-day weekend, and I still did not get that done because life is packed, Your Honor. So, okay. But what we will do is we will begin by pulling a weird phrase. Of course, my intention was to have them printed out, cut up. I could pull them out of a can. Haven't even done that. So I'm just going to pop over to my Weird Phrases National Poetry Month 24 document, and I have them numbered 1 to 30. Now, okay, I can't see myself, so I'm going to just show you these weird dice I've assembled. I wanted to do dice, and oh, gross, there's a hair in them. Oh, and then I dropped one, and it's dark. It's kind of rainy today. I do have a 10-sided die that I got well, actually, my son had this collection of dice. It's a long story. It was this board game he was too young for, but he loved the dice. And then I have like this metal one. So these are ones that my son has collected and left behind when he moved on to his adult life, so to speak. I'm going to roll them. I don't remember what they add to 6, 12, 18, 28. That's going to have to be close enough for the first day. And then tomorrow I'll have it better organized, draw them out of a can or something else. But now I have to do my math. 3 plus 5 plus 7 is 15. 16. So we're going to go to phrase number 16 because the last one was a 1. So I'm scrolling down. I'm scrolling down to 16 to find our weird phrase for the day. Here we are again, just doomed. Today's weird phrase, and these are phrases that just come to me and I've been writing them down for a few months. Today's phrase is here we are again, just doomed. Can you imagine starting a poem that way? Which brings me to the point. The point is, I pulled up a menu and couldn't see anything. The point is that we string them together like a little string of beads, right? By the end of the month, we will have used all the phrases. I have 30 at this point. I had 32 this morning. I knocked out a few of them that I thought were kind of a little, not bad, just a little on the lackluster side comparatively. However, that doesn't mean that I won't add more just because you got to have a place to put them. And then I keep thinking of things to say. Then I'm like, that's too much. Anyway. Wow, it's the first day of National Poetry Month. My grandmother's birthday. I'm going to tell the story real quick about my college roommate who once said on I know it was a March 31st. She woke up and said, oh, it's my grandpa's birthday. He used to say, I just miss being a fool. And I'm like, well, okay, but my grandma's birthday was on April 1st. So what are you trying to say, right? Anyway, Grandma Lorene, off in the great beyond. Happy birthday to you. She was born in 1926. So I guess she would have been 98 today. Awesome. All right. Oh, thank you, Lord, for the coffee. Okay, so pulled that weird phrase. I should write it down so I don't forget. I'm just going to write down the number 16. And then I have my card of prompts, so I'll know what to do next. This is essential. People who just fly by the seat of their pants and succeed are a lot better than I. Okay, number 16. I'm just making myself a note of that. Well, here we are again, just doomed. So I'm writing it down. Just doomed. And then, I don't know if it'll be backwards. I forget how this works, but here it is. If we can see it. Here we are again, just doomed. I don't think it is backwards. It's tricky to find the light. I'm sitting by the window. It's supposed to be really rainy today, which is great. There we are. Here we are again. Just doomed. I don't feel that way. But like I say, it will string together in a perchance type way throughout the month. And then on the last day of National Poetry Month, April 30th, I will reveal the entire poem, which if I have gotten my act together and lino carved my different coffee cups that I can write them on, we will have an illustrated ebook at the end of the time. Otherwise, I'm just going to throw them into the next poetry collection or something like that. Thank you for your patience, because I'm sort of a spaz sometimes. We've done weird phrase. Next, Poetry Freaks. There exists a board game called Poetry Freaks. And of course, here we go. It's always hard with the lighting because I'm not brilliant at this. I'll just say it. I'm not going to say the world is against me. I'm going to say, well, I'm sitting by a window in a weird way. And this is a board game. This was dreamed up by my man friend, Sean McAnally, who makes a lot of games, like role-playing games. And this one is described as a role-playing word game. I should read the whole description, but it's long. Here's the other side of the board, which has 2 columns of description, and then this really fun part here, which is what we will be working with today. I'm going to turn on my lamp for better lighting for myself. Oh, that looks really weird. But hey, we're here for that, right? Surrealism. I'm just going to try and skip around and read it in a smart way so that I don't read the whole thing, but let you kind of get the gist. In this game, you adopt the character of a fictional poet, one you make up. And you give them a name, a backstory, and anything else you could think of to bring them to life. As you play, don't break character ever. This is very important in the role-playing games world, which I am new to and don't really actually even play. I just really actually am an enthusiast of watching the story unfold and hear the funny voices. Anyway, your poet that you create, your poet character can be from any time, any place, any of the styles like Elizabethan, Romantics, Beatniks, and whatever you want. And so basically, you're going to roll the dice for a theme and roll the dice for words. And I'm sorry if I'm oversimplifying this. I'll be more prepared tomorrow. I'll read it ahead and be like, okay, here's what I left out and messed up. But anyway, you're going to roll for those and then write a real quick poem. So I think one of my activities this National Poetry Month will be to roll the D30 for themes and the D100 for beautiful words. And then as last year, where I would just draw a beautiful word out of a can and then make it into a poem on the spot or that day. I wouldn't do it on the live. I would do it that day and then read it the next day. I'm going to do the same thing using Poetry Freaks. And so this is the authors on the game are Sean McAnally and Amy Zollers and even my son Clyde, who did the logo, which I have on a button right here, which says Poetry Freaks singular in his cool handwriting. I'm just really bad at like showing all this stuff. And it's sideways. But anyway, because the reason I'm on there is that he texted me and said I need like poetic themes. And I got real fun with it because I sort of had a fever, but also I was in real poetry mode. So that was fun. And then he found a list of beautiful words. I don't remember if I contributed to that, but I definitely did contribute the themes. So, and I do not have a D30 and a D100, although I nerded it up last night and found some for a good bargain, but they won't be here for a couple of days. But I do have the thing wherein you can roll a D30 like online. You know, what's the word? Virtually or digitally. I'm going to digitally roll a D30 for theme, and we will see what theme we get. And I'm really hoping they mix it up throughout the month and we don't have too many repeats, because there are 30 themes and 30 days in National Poetry Month. I'm just trying to get on that tab, but I can't remember what I'm doing. Okay, because I'm talking. Rolling a D30 for the theme of the poem that I will write for tomorrow. Roll number 18. So, mood number 18 in the Poetry Freaks game comes to erotic tango. Let's just start in hot with erotic tango. Okay. All right, I'm on board. Now I got to roll my D100 for my beautiful word or my poetic word. Word number 66 is axiom. Let us combine axiom and erotic tango and see what comes up tomorrow. I'm very excited. This is exciting. And so that's kind of how the month is going to go as far as I can tell. If I get some brilliant flash for an overhaul, I just feel like I haven't stopped moving since 3 weeks ago. So that's why I'm poorly planned, but not bad for what we do have here. Now I am going to read a poem. Why not? Oh, but first, can I hold this up? I don't want to use profanity, but for my birthday or Christmas or one or the other, I think it was my birthday, my dear Sunday school teaching sister gave me this book that says lyrics and shit. And so it's an empty notebook, and I had it under the coffee table, and I was looking for a book to read from for today. And I found that, and that was just a little bit of look at this. And now I have to use it because you write a lot of lyrics. May I let you know, Podcast in A Minor is my songwriting podcast. So there are new songs a lot and old songs that I dig up that I wrote a long time ago. But I thought I'd read from my own poetry just because I don't talk about it lately. And this is from the collection, A Howling Breakfast of Moon Soda, 4 chapbooks in one. And one of the 4 chapbooks is Hot Soda. And I always think of hot soda this time of year. I don't know why I think of, maybe because it's National Poetry Month, but I'm like, why am I always hung up on the poet Vishal Lindsay in April? And I want his birthday to be in April now, but I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Hot Soda, but I'm not going to read the Vishal Lindsay ghost one today. I'm going to read Her Habit Is Realization, 3:15 a.m. That it is God's eyebrows, really, that she wishes to stroke in awe, delight, and gratitude for these spellbinding, pulsating, poetry fount, ambulant sculptures, so fine-hewn and birthed. And that is from the Hot Soda section of A Howling Breakfast of Moon Soda. Just combining all of the titles of the 4 chapbooks, which are, not that I remember what I wrote 2 years ago, Hot Soda, Moon Devoured, Maple Syrup Collides with Ham. Does not have the word breakfast in it, but it's breakfast poetry. Here we are. Hello. I think I read through them all 2 years ago and then put them in the book. And Psychophonic Howling. So yeah, you can find that on Amazon, but also on other places if you just Google A Howling Breakfast of Moon Soda. I wonder how many things would come up besides this. But I'm often surprised. So that's one you can check out if you're feeling in the mood for some poetry you haven't seen before, if you haven't seen it before. Okay. The last thing I'm going to do is I just have a whole bunch of poetry books next to me, and I'm going to take the first one to hand and say, I'm going to read from this one today and see if it will inform the poetry I write for tomorrow. The Milk Bowl of Feathers is a collection of essential surrealist writings where I first discovered, I didn't discover him, but where I first ever heard of Andre Breton, the Dada poet. And you know what I mean by that. But oh my gosh, I have a whole bunch of notes in it, which you can't see because it's just glaring light and everything. But it's a really good, very short, very inspiring in its own way, in a very specific way kind of thing that I think adds freedom to my writing when I read things like surrealism. I think that's probably pretty obvious. Anyway, I don't care. What is this? Is this the 90s? Am I in college? Is everybody waiting behind the corner to leap on you and correct you? Yes, kind of. But I don't really experience that because thankfully, I am so thankful for being able to do this without a large following. I used to be like, oh, bummer. But now I'm kind of like, oh yeah, people are not lying in wait to, correct me and what have you. Okay, here's my beautiful dice again that I just found lying around. There's a big old one. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. That's Angela and I always do that. And there's a clear one, and there's a little like heavy metal one. And then the 10-sided die, which I purchased when I was listening to the Hypnagogia podcast back when I was homeschooling my kid between the years of 5th and 8th grade, and inclusive. And he had mentioned a board game that was, gosh, I gotta go find it now. I feel like I can see in my closet where it should be, but it was a board game, not a board game, a game with like the directions, kind of, you know, I don't know if it had a board. I don't think so. You used cards, but you needed a 10-sided die, and it was a spooky game of some sort. It wasn't that great, a spooky game of some sort. That is all I can remember. Something about, there had to be like, you know, running through the moors or something. I don't know, but that comes up often. So, alrighty. Happy National Poetry Month. I hope this was just not too absolutely, you know, I don't know. It says Poetry Freak. It says Poetry Freak right there. So it's fine. It's fine. I think it was just as it should be. Yeah, let's go with that. And I will see you tomorrow, the good Lord willing, the creek don't rise, for some more National Poetry Month Breakfast Poetry Live. And that will be April 2nd. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you get some poetry in you today. Bye-bye. And end stream.